Big burly police officer out here talking about National Night Out and another event we're dealing with back to school that that Elmeda has. In the Kids Corner, you got what?
This Saturday is Dream Kids Day at Camp Wonderland in Missouri, and that's all with the Dream Factory. Linda Clark is here to talk about it.
And then we'll bring you up to date on what's happening with the Missouri State Fair.
Yeah, the 104th Missouri State Fair.
And we got news. But before we go to the break, get kind of feel on a little on edge and kind of sad this morning because we lost this weekend a very, very good friend of the show. He has been with our program since it started, and it had an association with KOMU for well over 30 years. I'm talking about Ray Rothenberger, our plant expert. Ray passed into eternity this past weekend, and he is going to be missed a great deal, not just by us here, but by his wife, Barbara, of 47 years, and the children. He was just an all-around good person. If you would like to attend a memorial service for Ray, it's open to the public. There's going to be a memorial service this coming Thursday at 2 o'clock at the First Christian Church, that's 10th and Walnut. And everybody is invited to attend. Ray was the kind of guy that you could just talk to whenever you had a question about plants. I just remember picking his brain so many times to the point that I thought I was almost getting obnoxious.
You were calling him at home several times.
Him at home, and you just couldn't stump the guy. He knew everything there was to know about plants, and for that we will be eternally grateful, besides for his friendship. But we wanted to run, as we go into the break today, a little clip of Ray, and this really goes to show that you couldn't stump him, no matter what question you asked. And I would be calling him and asking him about the bugs on the zucchini, or what's happening to the tomato plants, or some trees, and he always had an answer. This was a little clip from his last appearance on our show on May the 15th, and I asked him some questions that I thought I was going to be able to stump him, and you just couldn't. So again, our thoughts, our prayers, and our love go out to Barbara Rothenberger and the children and the family of Ray Rothenberger. He will be missed. But watch this. Is this the mosquito plant?
No, that's an elderberry. And this is a new plant coming on the market, and it's a cut-leaved, purple-leaved elderberry, what everyone needs.
Okay.
Anyway, some of these plants that we know as fruiting plants are, just developed ornamentally. And this gets much more purple than it is here.
Now, what have you heard about I've seen it advertised in the paper and Sunday paper, the mosquito plant. You buy it, you plant it on the deck or the patio, and it keeps the mosquitoes away. Have you heard that?
Well, yeah, I've heard that many times.
Does it work?
It never worked for me. Okay. I guess if you rub it on you, it does have
but not just planting it, it's not going to keep
But just planting it doesn't do anything. And, you've got to stimulate that smell to keep them away.
The other thing is, I plant the traditional tomatoes, but I've seen ads in the paper for these massive tomato plants that you buy that grow as tall as a tree, and you pick bushels and bushels of tomatoes.
Well,
are those legitimate?
That is Cyphomandra. Cyphomandra is a different genus than the regular tomato.
I can't stump you, can I, Ray?
The fruit is tomato-like,
but it's not really a tomato.
You really need a greenhouse for it to do that. Our climate's too cold. Now, in warm climates, in the tropics, they do become trees, and they produce that looks a little bit like a Roma tomato that is good, but for us it doesn't work well.
And what about the trees the fruit trees that bear 4 or 5 different types of fruit?
Well, the 5 apples or whatever, something like that. Those are grafted. They're fine.
And it is true?
It's true, yeah. They just graft 4 or 5 different varieties on one plant, and they will develop. The thing they don't always tell you is some of the varieties are more vigorous than others, and some may kind of develop and overshadow others.